my god. Wait.
Will I be your second rider? Well, howdy y'all. Welcome down to the Rant room.
Guys, Deshant is annoying.
Well, down here at the rodeo,
Every time he walks into my house, he requires props. Like, no greeting, no nothing, just...
It's giving exclusive cover of Cowboy Carter.
Anyway, guys.
Yeah, welcome to the second episode of the Rant Room.
Welcome back to the Rant Room. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to episode 1.
I mean, I was really shocked by the response.
Same.
I'm really happy. And thank you guys so much for listening to the first episode.
Yeah.
I think the second episode is even going to be better.
Also, shout out to Tyler.
Oh my god, yeah.
Guys, Tyler, listen, we were so scared, okay? Because when we were deciding off the edits which reel to upload first, obviously we wanted something not controversial, but something that was going to make you stop and listen. And the bit that we chose, you stopped and you listened to. But now...
I'm just scared that Tyler thinks I hate her when I don't.
No, we don't hate you, girl.
I love her.
Too much.
I'm seeing you on Tuesday, girl.
Yeah, we love you too much.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for tuning in. It was great. Look, we know there's some technical issues that we need to fix. And you know what? We're fixing them.
Yeah, we're working towards it.
Yes.
This is the two-man show.
And we mean two-man show, like behind the cameras, in front of the cameras,
the lighting, everything.
behind the magger.
Yeah. But that's what happens, when you sing a cowboy chain the rodeo.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so listen, we're gonna get to that. So I think we're gonna start off. We decided to start off each week with each episode rather, with a roundup in pop culture.
Yeah.
Because I think so much happens.
Oh yeah, this past week, dude.
2024, like every day has been something new. So things like Deshant and I will share things with each other all the time about like, oh my god, did you see this? Did you see that? Sometimes there's so much happening we forget to. So I think this can be our weekly roundup.
Yeah, it's like a pop culture roundup.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a roundup, down there at the rodeo.
Okay, so should we intro the segment?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
the weekend comedy roundup.
One more time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
the weekend comedy roundup.
It's a pop culture roundup.
Okay, one more time.
Okay, one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
the pop culture roundup with Kevin Deshant.
Oh, Zambeck. Okay. Okay, so do you want to start? What came across your feed this week?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Beyonce released her much anticipated Act 2, which is it's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's insane.
It's crazy.
No, it's insane.
Yeah, she released it, and I just saw this morning actually that she has been, I think, the highest number of streams in a day on Spotify.
Yeah.
For 2024.
Correct.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And another thing is, Beyonce sending Tyler a bunch of flowers.
She did.
She got that stamp of approval.
Yeah. Once you get that Beyonce
flowers,
you're done.
Yeah.
You're a gone girl. Deshant is also, guys, you're gonna be allowed 5 Beyonce bursts during the taping of this episode. Now, what is a Beyonce burst, you might ask?
Well, yeah.
Every time Deshant will say, I have a Beyonce burst. If whatever we talk about triggers him needing to talk about the new album, he will get 60 seconds or 70 seconds to rant.
It's just so that we don't only talk about Beyonce in this episode, because I can for 2.5 hours.
He really
Do you
can.
have time?
Okay, so every time he says he has a Beyonce burst, he needs to go, ooh, Beyonce burst. Yeah. You will then hear this sound. And he will then have 60 seconds to rant.
Can we make that sound like a yeehaw?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw that Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, because we know that Freaky Friday 2 or whatever it is called has been given the green light.
Yeah.
And it was Jamie Lee Curtis who, if you are watching this on YouTube, here's the picture. Jamie Lee Curtis shared a selfie with Lindsay. Can we just, like, Lindsay Lohan's resurgence?
Yeah. Have you watched Irish Wish?
Not yet. It's on my list. Yeah. I'm trying to tackle all things. Like, I know.
You know where it's on?
Netflix. Like, I know it's not the best movie on earth, but it's a Lindsay movie.
Yeah.
Like, she switches bodies with such. She's always switching bodies.
Yeah.
That one, like whenever she gets a chance. But I'm so happy that she's having this like comeback moment. I'm very excited for Freaky Friday. Listen, Freaky Friday had one of the most groundbreaking songs of our time. Don't wanna grow up, I wanna get down. Hey, take me away. Lindsay was a pillar of our time.
Yeah.
Freaky Friday, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, Parent Trap. What is the other ones? Herbie Fully Loaded. Like.
Oh damn! I forgot about her. Actually, that's so crazy because yesterday I was driving home. When I was driving home, I saw Herbie.
Girl.
And I've never seen. I mean, I've seen one, but not like now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's a sign.
Maybe it's a sign. Lindsay, if you want to do a Herbie, just reboot all your movies,
yeah.
girl. Like,
just say
like,
reboot.
And
like
she was
change up my gear.
And she was in the. And she was in the new. She returned in Mean Girls.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The musical. So that was one of the things I saw. You next.
Oh, what else do I have to say? What else happened this week? I'm trying to think.
Well, there's all that P Diddy drama.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on there.
I'm not fully clued up, but as far as I know,
I just saw that he like claimed to adopt someone or something.
No.
Oh.
Is that what you heard?
No, because he had some live or something, right?
Do you know about the entire drama?
No.
Okay, so Cassie sued him first, right?
Oh yeah.
For.
But did you see his face?
Dude, so everyone in Hollywood used to talk about like a Diddy party. Have you been to a Diddy party? Apparently, it's a whole orgy fest. There's a lot of these videos of him and Justin Bieber going around now. And
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, and like Bieber apparently, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but Bieber claimed to like tried his utmost to stay away from Diddy because he knew Diddy likes young boys. He would get young boys. So Cassie, in her claim or whatever, said that Diddy promised her a future in the industry and whatever if she had just done. She was trafficked. She was this. She was that. She was whatever. She
so
opened
scary.
that case and then. And just opened the floodgates to everything. His home was raided last week.
Okay.
He like fled the country or something. But I think
that's so crazy,
dude.
This like whole like human trafficking thing scares me, dude.
But it's the craziest thing is like it's your faves, and you know I don't know.
I think that's another thing, right? You can't really trust anyone.
No,
you have to like be very careful.
And people will say it. 50 Cent was saying it for years about Diddy and his parties. Like people would talk about. He would call it freak offs. So he would throw like these freak offs in his house. And listen, Mr. Little TD Jakes was there. The pastor,
Bishop
Yeager. Apparently he had power bottom. Yeah. If you haven't checked out this P Diddy story, like go do your research. It's very dark and sinister.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
crazy. Dude.
The way Diddy looks now in the recent photos, he looks guilty. Anyway, justice for Cassie.
Yeah.
Cassie, if you want to make new music, girl, you got a long way to go. We'll be listening.
I'm trying to think what else happened this week.
The biggest thing.
Huh?
The biggest thing.
The biggest thing. I'm gonna cry.
He's gonna tell you this one time.
Let me tell you guys something. And I can say this with my whole chest.
Yeah.
I always say this every episode. I can say this with my whole chest. Because I really can. And I don't think people understand this. And I don't think the whole of South Africa understands this. People can say they're a Snoh Aalegra fan.
No, he is a Snoh Aalegra fan.
Let me tell you, I absolutely adore Snoh Aalegra. I even DM'd her once being like, oh my God, Snoh Aalegra, I love you so much. And she said, thanks for all the love. And I even told her, come to South Africa. I like have been the biggest Snoh fan. I knew about Snoh before she went into this whole like rebrand of Snoh Aalegra.
Sure.
I knew her from her first single that she released. And even before she got onto Rock Nation.
Yeah.
And I'm like really, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna.
I can confirm this. Like, obsessed is not even the word. He would literally DM Snoh Aalegra all the time.
She's like, I love the R&B girlies.
Yes.
I love like Snoh Aalegra. Oh, Mariba's also coming. Oh my God, everyone's coming. Like, if Cleo Soul comes, then I don't know what I'm gonna do.
We're finished. Well, okay. So let's.
Long story short, Snoh Aalegra has been announced as the headliner.
One of the headliners for.
Because I just want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
Stand Entertainment, hey girls. I just want to say something. My name's Deshaun. If you guys need like a strategist or something, or if you want to maybe make me meet Snoh Aalegra, I would live there.
We would love to meet some. Listen, we
both are going.
We both.
Yeah, I'm going to see Snoh Aalegra.
So the day the day we released episode 1 of The Rant Room was the day that Snoh Aalegra tickets went on sale. I had not factored it in. I had factored in going on sale the next day. The day I was getting paid. So we were off to Rosebank because as two grown adults who released a podcast, we celebrated the way any other grown adults would by going to watch Kung Fu Panda 4. We were standing in the middle of Rosebank and we were in this queue. I was like number 98 in the queue.
Yeah, I was
like 400.
Yeah, I was not okay.
Anyways, I finally get in. Now we're just
standing.
We're standing and everyone stressed out because these were phase 1 tickets, right? And
you know about phase 1 tickets.
You won't get them at that price again. We're standing there. I finally check out. I check out, and because I had clicked the link via Instagram. My card details are only saved if I go on my Safari. So now I was panicking. This girl finally got into the thing. It was stressful because he had to book for himself, his other friend, and for me, and like put everyone's details. Like it was a lot.
I was like, no, give me your ID number. Give me your ID
Yes. No, you gave me your card.
Yeah.
Because I was on, so I didn't lose my place. Anyway, long story short,
we got the tickets.
We're
gonna go see Snoh.
Now I'm excited to see what the rest of the lineup is.
Yeah, because I think Stain Entertainment's really changing they've changed the game.
Which brings us to the topic of
this
episode. Festival culture in South Africa. And it's what is I don't want to say emergence. I want to say it was
the rise of,
because we've had culture. It's been like this.
We've had it around,
for some time,
but it hasn't like reached its.
And that's because there was never massive headliners ever brought, right? Like if you think about like Splashy Fen has been around for like years, and it's a huge like festival culture that we have. If we think about Rockin the Daisies, it's always been our premier festival that everyone goes to. This will be my first Daisies, by the way.
I haven't been.
I've
itched to go.
Yeah,
but I've never because Kelani I saw live in Stockholm.
Oh well, I went to Rockin the Daisies in Joburg, but that doesn't count.
Yeah,
it's not Rockin the Daisies in Cape Town. Yeah. You know what I mean? Girl, I partied with Kelani. Like, here's the video right here. Like, I was there. We go to this club. Kehlani was performing. She's dancing here. She's singing, like, it felt like a personal performance. She was singing to me, bitch.
Really?
Like, literally. Did I show you the videos? I did.
No.
What?
No, I don't remember you sending me a video. Oh, when you FaceTimed me when she was
No, then we went to the after party. We managed to get into the after party where she was performing at, I think it was like at Sumo or something. Girl, she was right there performing to me. We're gonna put the video here. Then anyways, now mid like Kehlani break, I go and like chill on the side, and there's some white girl with like blonde hair, and I'm like, oh my god, she's so good. And she's like, yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like,
I know the
she
story.
is good. So then this girl has like a bit of an accent. So I'm like, oh my god, you have an accent. Where are you from? I think she said like, where they're from, Sweden or Stockholm?
No, they were from the UK.
They're from the UK? No, this girl had a bit of an accent.
Are we talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, they're from the UK, no?
She has a bit of a tinge in her accent.
Really?
Or maybe I was very litty and I just thought her British accent was an accent, right?
So the only girl from Stockholm is Zara Larsson.
Yes. So then I was telling this blonde girl, I'm like, oh my god, did you come down for the festival? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, awesome. Did you enjoy it? And she was like, yeah. We had a great time performing. I said, ooh, performing? Then I finally like looked at her and I'm like, wait, run that shit back. And I was like, oh,
there's no place I'd rather be.
It was the girl from Clean Bandits.
Yeah.
Like I got a drunken selfie with her. I'm like, no one's gonna believe this story. We all of this footage. If you're listening to the Rant Room, go watch it on our YouTube if you want all of the visuals that we're talking about. This is my drunken selfie with the chickie from Clean Bandit. But like that was the fun part. Like the Daisies in Joburg. Look, I had nothing else to compare it to, but like it wasn't Cape Town because it was one day.
To be very honest, I haven't been at a music festival in South Africa at all.
Oof.
I think when I moved to Sweden, I was like, okay, like I'm in Europe, like, and also like in Europe, the headliners. They're crazy.
No offense.
Like it was crazy, and plus like half of the things I used to go for to cover as media, right?
Yeah.
So I would go. My favorite festival was the one that used to happen in Gothenburg, which is called Way Out West, and the reason why I went last year. Was guys, they brought Uncle Waffles, and one thing about me is I'm patriotic, so I'm gonna show up with my flag, I did, and I looked. This is the funniest thing because I don't even know if Uncle Waffles remembers. Well, she did comment like you ate when I told her like, but she was playing And I just looked at it in the eyes and I screamed. Guys, I was missing home. At that time, I was emotionally vulnerable.
I remember
I looked at her straight in the eyes and I said, Waffles, turn this into Conca. And everyone was just looking at me. And I was like, half of these people don't even know what Conca is. Yeah. And she just looked at me and she was like, we made eye contact and I was like, we see each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Waffles, it was crazy. And I had a lot of like mutual friends who were DJs at the the festival. But I love that festival because they brought a lot of Afrobeat artists like Umale.
Because that's like what like
Kyra Star.
Ooh. But I would assume that a lot of the like festivals in Europe would bring in a lot of like African acts because aren't they very big on it?
Speaking about that, like there's a festival that happens in Malmö, which is down south in Sweden, right? And no one really goes to Malmö because it's like a student city.
Yeah.
And they had a festival called Big Slap, and it was crazy because that was a festival that Tyler was headlining, and at the time Tyler was like I would know Tyler, like no one really knew Tyler, like it wasn't even like Water and like that kind of thing.
It was still getting laid vibes.
Yeah. And so when I saw that, I was like, damn, she in Malmö. Like, what's she doing down there? And at the time, well, why didn't I go? I
think you were telling me about this.
Yeah, remember I wanted to go.
I think so.
It was her, Burna Boy, because I had seen Burna Boy already.
I think you just didn't have good enough reason. Like you wanted to, but you were just like...
I think I was busy that week. I don't remember, but anyway. It was crazy to think that she had headline.
And this is the thing, when people say that she's an overnight success or an industry plant, like they have been putting her to work for some time.
Yeah.
So I was meant to go to Rockin the Daisies when... I always said I will go to Rockin the Daisies Cape Town if someone I really, really, really like comes down.
And she's come.
Well, I initially was supposed to go when the 1975 had come down.
Yes. But then they came to Joburg, no?
They didn't. Oh. I was still living in Devon at the time.
Okay.
And if you guys, the 1975, okay, I know Matt Healy can be an issue sometimes. But they are my favorite band. There's something about their music. There's something about their sound that it puts me in a very like happy place. I had tickets for the festival and then I got booked for work and then I couldn't turn down what I got booked for. So I will see them eventually. I know I will.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rockin the Daisies post pandemic has sort of plateaued. Yeah, they were still happening and like they started to develop a niche crowd. The artists had become extremely niche. Like it went from like niche in the sense that, oh, I would have heard of so and so, I just don't listen to their music, but because they have a niche sort of audience, to going to an extremely niche market.
Which is what they're doing now, if you think about it.
No, 100%.
Because a lot of people, this is where I'm going to argue, is that half of these people who are going for Snoh Aalegra only want to go because they know her from I Want You Around.
Which is fine. Right?
Yeah, I want to be there. I've been there from
which is fine. Like I don't think we should shame people for getting on a train too late. Like you should be happy that your artist is being listened to and they're making money at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying.
Yes, we get it, guys. If you see Deshaun, just clear the way at the festival. Otherwise, he will bulldoze you and he will tell you that he was there from the jump. I firmly believe that after Hey Neighbor Festival last year, pressure was applied, big time. I went to Hey Neighbor Festival. Listen. It was a crazy transformative time in my life in a lot of ways. But that festival was everyone that I know, from performers to friends to people who had actually been to Coachella, literally said this is the closest thing South Africa has had to Coachella, period.
Yeah, because of the look of the festival too, right?
Oh my God.
It also reminded me a little bit of Lollapalooza in Stockholm, because it's the similar vibe. But also in the very beginning, remember, people were really sussed out by like, oh, what's Glen 21?
Well,
like,
when I first heard of Hey Neighbor, and the first headline that they had announced was.
Wasn't it Khalid?
It was Khalid, I think, or her. It was someone. And when I first heard of it, listen, as South Africans, we've had too many promoters promise to bring us. Comic-Con is the biggest culprit. Like, we've had too many promoters promise to bring us somebody, and then a month or two later, they're like, they can't make it because of scheduling, but here's the backup, you know? So when I heard of Hey Neighbor, I was like, I'll wait and see.
Yeah.
I'll wait and see. Then the sponsors started being announced.
Then 947 came on.
And you know when 947 gets involved,
then it's like,
you know that there's, and then Netflix got involved. So that's how, and this is why, I say, it was like a Coachella vibe, because you had all of these brands who had brought their influences there. And I know that Daisies does that, but I don't think they've ever done it on the level that Hey Neighbor has done it. Like, I had gone with Netflix. Netflix had this entire Netflix house. So you could walk through this house and they had different rooms and elements from different shows. So there's a Blood and Water room. There's a young...
It was part of their larger campaign.
Yeah, there was
like
summer campaign. A miseducation room. There was a this, there was a that. You had acts who had brought all the influences they worked with. You had... oh my gosh, like everybody, like it was like at any given point you could turn somewhere and somebody famous was standing or next to you or around you or them and different, you know what I mean? And then the lineup was just crazy. Like Daisies usually does like 2 big headlines and then it's your niche and then your niche and then your local acts, right? Hey Neighbor had Tyler, Khalid, her, Kendrick Lamar, Swedish House Mafia, who killed it. Swedish House Mafia. You had Calvin Momo. You had Shekinah. Yeah. It was just
they had like I'm a piano, but then they had like multi-genre,
and there were different stages. So you had your main stage. I got to present on. I got to bring out Prime Circle in their final performance as a band. Their lead singer had left Prime Circle last year, and Hey Neighbor was their last performance. And so I'm chilling in the so Netflix had the house and then the tent for the guests. So I was at the Netflix tent. It was day 3 of the festival. Everyone was like trying to like push on, but we had just seen Kendrick. We're like tired. We're like, you know, it's Swedish House Mafia. It's the last night. And then one of the organizers comes to the tent and they're like, "Hey Prev, do you mind getting on stage and bringing out somebody?" I was like, "Absolutely not." I'm like, "No. What do you mean? Like, no. Like, I'm low key hanging. It was cold that day. It was red. It was rainy." And they were like, "Please, just come. It's the first Hey Neighbor." And then that's when they got me. I'm like, "You're right. It is the first Hey Neighbor. It'll be a cool story to tell my kids one day that your daddy was on the first Hey." And so, yeah, like, brought up Prime Circle. It was a very insane festival. That Kendrick Lamar day, there were about 60,000 people at the venue. I can't describe it. Like, we definitely gonna go this year, but I can't describe the feeling of it. Like, it was nuts.
I think they as well. I think Glen 21 as well as an organizer.
Yeah.
I think they also just used this festival, the very first one, as a way to kind of judge if, like, okay, maybe we should...
If it's a thing.
And I think because of the success of the first festival, I have no doubt that they're probably going to come, like...
Do you understand? This is what I keep saying. So, like, after day 1, Friday was the day 1, right? When everyone started... So, you could obviously camp. Or we did not camp. We booked an Airbnb, like, 40 minutes away. But when we arrived on day 2, every board and signage and graphic was pre-registration for 2024 already. So Friday had happened, everyone had got there, everyone like figured out the lay of the land, everyone had a good time. Then Saturday morning you get there and every sign is like videos from the day before with pre-registration for 2024 is now opened. That's when I knew, I'm like, okay, they've not just broke even. And then obviously throughout Saturday to see 60,000 people, it was madness.
I hope they are also... I would say, like, I mean, I think summer is festival season for us, right? Yeah. But it's going to be so tricky for, like, people who are going to go to Rockin the Daisies and then want to go to Hey Neighbor. Because Hey Neighbor was, what, in November?
December.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think, like, I would, just for selfish reasons, I would have liked it to be earlier, like in the year, because...
But you see, a lot of people also, like, a lot of these brands, for us it felt like a year-end party. Because a lot of these brands brought their staff, their marketing teams, their strat teams, their agencies, like, one of our friends who's in marketing was there on behalf of Netflix, like... So I think companies also got to incorporate it as part of their year end.
Okay, makes sense.
You know, so it felt, it gave very much that energy. And look, one of my friends, he did Rockin the Daisies. He had like a 2-week gap or a 3-week gap or however long gap, a month gap, I guess, to recover from Daisies and then go into Hey Neighbor. And I think it's nice that they spaced out like that, because you have that. But we also need to factor in that DSTV Delicious is quite a contender when it comes to festivals.
Yeah.
They're very much for the
They've
older
just
crowd.
emerged as a like.
They're very much for the older crowd. I went on invited by a brand, on behalf of a brand, so I was like in a tent, so I could look at the whole festival. Definitely an older crowd. Like Saturday, it's a 2-day festival. Saturday we had Thames. But do you see what I mean? The pressure being applied, because these companies are realizing that, okay, we're not really
there's
going...
a good ROI for them.
Yeah, we're not really going for concerts as much now, but if there's a festival with multiple people on the lineup, you're bound to bring everybody. But it's more than just the artists. Like you're saying, it's the brand awareness. It's who has the cooler tent, it's all of these things. And so Delicious brought Thames on Saturday, and then Sunday they had Maxwell.
You can see like they're catering for both markets. But I think I'm really excited to see what these girlies at Stain do for Rockin the Daisies. Because I mean, if they starting off with Snoh Aalegra, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like if they announce the rest of the artists, I have like an itch in the back of my head. Like I'm like, if it's Cleo Soul that comes after that, then I think I might just like not do this podcast anymore, because I might need like 5 months to recover.
And a part of me wants to be like, okay, maybe they're gonna bring a male artist, right?
Yeah.
So it's balanced. Like, okay, Snoh is for the girlies and the girlies.
And mind you, Snow's PR agency is Rock Nation.
Yeah.
You know who owns Rock Nation?
Jay-Z.
Yeert.
Is this a Beyonce burst?
Now we can continue.
Okay. I think they'll balance it out with something for, not that Snow's music is just for girls, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You get some guys who don't like to be soft boys who are like, where's the rappers? Like when Stormzy came, it was like a huge deal.
Yeah. A lot of people in the comments of like Rockin the Daisies were asking for like Jack Harlow, and I'm like,
I wouldn't be mad at Jack.
Yeah.
Listen, I loved his debut album.
Like, I wonder if they're going to announce another international headliner for in the city.
So this is the thing, right? Like, again, to the thing we're talking about. South Africa, once upon a time, we had more concerts than we had festivals.
Yeah. But that's a chat we should actually talk about now.
Yeah.
Is the whole thing about venues as well in Joburg.
Yeah.
So a lot of the venues in Joburg pre-COVID, we had a lot of different venues that, because also you need to remember that these touring artists, they need certain specs, right? For their like shows.
Yeah.
And one of the venues in Joburg that had that spec was the Dome. And now that the Dome has been sold off to that car company, we're very limited in terms of closed venues to have
Deshaun
concerts.
is very upset about
No,
the Dome.
because I am. I honestly am, because it's taken away opportunities for us to have artists to come here. Now we have to rely on festivals and open air festivals.
Agreed.
Otherwise, you're going to have to travel to Pretoria now to go and see a concert.
Which is where everyone has been. I mean, I like I said, like, I go to Pretoria more than I'd like to. No shade. But it's just the distance thing.
I think it's also my passion, in the sense that if I was a gazillionaire, I would have bought the Dome. I would have bought the Dome, and I would have still, like, I mean, of course, during COVID, like, I understand, right?
Yeah.
Ticket Pro was doing very bad at the time. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I think as the Dome, I would have taken it over, and I think I somehow, so God willing, someday, I want to do festival curation.
Ooh. I could see you running your own festival.
Yeah. I really think so. Because
with that hat. If you're listening to this, Deshant has been fully in a cowboy hat from the time we started this podcast.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Is it time?
Quick, hot burst.
Okay, guys, here we go. Deshant's first Beyonce burst. Your 60 seconds starts now.
Well, yeah, just quickly. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. But anyway, while we're on this Beyonce thing, Beyonce really said it's a Beyonce album, not a country album. Because there's a track she has with Post Malone, Levi's Jeans.
Yes. I saw my favorite tweet about that. Sorry to take your Beyonce burst, but someone said it sounds like Beyonce really made Post Malone get in the shower before he got in the studio. Because it's so clean.
It's so rude. Anyway, quickly back on the Jolene track. Also, oh my God, she literally told Jolene, try me. She told Jolene, try me. She said it was so like the first track, American Requiem, I cried. I'm not gonna even lie to you. That end part of American Requiem, I cried. Anyway, Beyonce did what she needed to do, and she had a signing, and I'm very scared because Beyonce doesn't just do public interaction where she signs and hugs fans.
That's why she did it in Japan.
That's what she did in Japan, because she was like, these people are respectful. Can you imagine if Beyonce was in Joburg?
No.
Nah, guys. No ways.
Also, I'm just gonna add to that. I sent you the Twitter thread yesterday of someone said, oh, they did from the end of Act 1 into Act 2, and it didn't sound whatever. And then someone said, no, go from the end of Act 2 into Act 1 with the visual as well. The visual of Amen is her leaving a door, and the start of Renaissance is her
I'm that girl.
walking into it.
But Beyonce even came out and said, listen, Act 2 was supposed to be Act 1 and Act 1 is supposed to be Act 2.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to festival curation.
You wanted to own a festival.
Yeah, no, I think I honestly do want to do festival curation because I would like to say that I'm very, very niche in my listening sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think not only myself, but there are a couple of people. Like, I would say a while back, Snoh was very niche. Like, not a lot of people listen to her. Small artists like that I feel like if we just give them a shot, like, we could take them to a global stage. You know what I mean? In Stockholm, there's these girls. They're actually DJs. They've, like, started to curate a festival, which is, like, I think it's actually similar to Rose Fest, I would say.
Okay.
They have a lot of female artists.
Rose Fest, if you don't know, was a festival that she kind of did a couple of years back. There was a festival put together entirely by a team of women, a lineup of only female performers, and it was just a girl power moment. It was a beautiful festival.
Yeah. So these girls in Stockholm, they do that, and they've been booking a lot of these R&B artists. Like, now they've just booked Waffles to perform in Stockholm. And they had booked Waffles last year they had booked Waffles, I think. And then she couldn't make it, but they had booked Waffles, they booked Drea Mac, they booked like a bunch of artists. And I, like, a lot of my friends were like, you know what, actually maybe you should consider getting into festival curation. I was like, yeah, I probably would like to, but I mean, it's things like venue capacity. Yeah.
Also, it's a huge undertaking. Like, I know how much stress Sheik and her whole team were just putting together those festivals. From the sponsorships are your biggest thing, and it's not just about getting any sponsorship. Like, people associate a festival by the brands associated with them. If a big alcohol brand is not attached, then we're already somewhat hesitant about your festival. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is a huge undertaking. And I think this is why we get along in terms of music, because I also listen to niche music, but it's different to your niche music. But they somehow sort of, like, eventually cross. Like Pink Panthers. Like, before she became
Pink Panthers
right now. I don't know if you know Jordan Ward. He's like, he's starting to...
It's like, remember how we both... I was listening to... what's his name? Suleiman.
80 Suleiman. Yeah. I was thinking about him as you were talking about... Wait, what happened to him?
I mean, he's around. It's again what I'm saying. Like, he just needs to come to, like, a festival.
That first album of his... Beautiful. I can't remember. I was thinking about him right now as you were talking.
There was one day where I was playing Adi Suleiman's music in the car, and he was like, "Oh my God, how do you know him?" And I was like,
because we obviously all have these niche musicians that we don't even bother to share because they're so niche. And again, shout out to Spotify Smart Shuffle, because this is how I usually come across most of these people.
But let's get back to festivals.
Anyways, back to festivals. So yeah, I do agree. Like, we don't have enough venues here.
Yeah, I think so. And it's so difficult now to, like, even get artists to come, I think. And you know what, actually, I'm going to go as far as to say that all eyes are on South Africa now. Like, right now.
Because I was going to debate you on that. I don't think it's difficult anymore to bring. I think we're so hot at the moment.
Yeah. Why are people acting like, I'm pretty girl from Joburg? You're not from Joburg.
I don't think Snoh would have ever anticipated the reception that she received.
Yeah.
She liked our comments on Instagram.
She did. And you know, Snoh, one thing about her, she'll look at my stories. Just like Tyler. On Tuesday, girl, when I see you, okay, you better sign my vinyls, eh?
And the sleeve of my t-shirt, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Please, don't forget my t-shirt.
Yeah, but then your t-shirt's black.
Get a white marker.
From where?
Cardi's.
Okay. Cardi's.
I don't know.
P&A.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, Snoh Aalegra. I was going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So a while back.
What did you do?
When I was trying to get Snoh down here, someone from Rockin... There's this girl on Instagram. I don't know her. She don't know me, but we follow each other.
Is it? Oh, okay. No.
Anyway, we follow each other. And I didn't know that she worked in, like, booking. Like, she worked as an agent.
Okay.
And one time I saw her out there in LA with Snoh, busy like partying with Snoh on Insta. And she goes, Snoh, you have like fans in South Africa. And Snoh goes, love you guys, South Africa. Next thing I know, I see a tweet on Twitter from the same girl. She tweeted being like, hey guys, quick question. If we were to book Snoh for a certain festival, would you... Remember I sent you that tweet? I don't know if you know.
Yes.
And they were like, if we were supposed to book Snoh for a show in Cape Town or Joburg, how many nights would it be and where? She just said that. And I was like, who are you? You menace. Asking all these questions.
Damn.
Next thing, 2 minutes ago, Snoh. I heard I got a lot of fans down there in South Africa. Love you guys. Snoh.
Well, she's coming. She's gonna find.
Well, now she's coming.
She found out that day. I think when they announced,
and she saw how quickly those tickets went.
Dude, those phase one, we were lucky to get them
because my friend's boyfriend, she asked me, "Can you try and get him a ticket because you're in the queue?" And then I was like, okay, cool, but I'll try. And like we were in the queue, and then it was like sold out.
I think it sold out in like 10 minutes at phase one.
That's crazy.
Like it was gone.
And also, they've just only announced Snoh.
Yeah.
So I mean, Snow's crazy.
The other festival that has come up, and look, I think this festival has come up because of seeing what's happening within the market and quickly trying to rush and put something together for the sake of. And that's the Calabash Festival that Big Concerts has been doing. Listen, I feel like they have something there, right? But they need to... It feels rushed. The timing feels rushed.
But also, Big Concerts is a huge player.
Yeah.
And when I say they're a huge player, they're Live Nation. For all of you who don't know what Live Nation is, Live Nation signs artists and help them with their touring. So, Nicki Minaj... Renaissance.
When they brought Gaga.
Yeah, Taylor
Rihanna.
Swift. Everyone is represented by Live Nation for touring. So Big Concerts has access to this crazy bank of artists who they can bring. But I really don't know what's going down there.
So they announced this Calabash Festival. It was everything about it was so odd, right? Like I think the whole country had just
oh my god. Remember everyone thought Taylor was coming.
Okay, so how it happened was Hey Neighbor had just finished. The 3 days had just finished. The whole concept, the whole festival run had finished. Delicious was done, Daisies was done, Hey Neighbor was done. We were tired, we were fulfilled, we were happy, we were like, okay, whew.
Next thing you know,
Next
Calabash.
thing, all of a sudden, before even Calabash, Big Concert says they have this huge announcement that they're gonna make. Jiggy! Big Concerts then announces their lineup for Calabash, right? Now, no shade, no disrespect to anybody, but the lineup was
Ava Max.
Who was the headline? I can't even remember.
Oh, Maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
I was going to say Machine Gun Kelly.
Right.
I don't know why.
Maroon 5, Ava Max, and there was one more.
Oh, Loiso was on there.
No, there was one more international act. It was Ava Max.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's not a concert I would have rushed to book.
Turnout wasn't that great. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, Ava Max!" I'm like, "Okay, 5 Ava Max songs, go." Everyone looked at me stumped, right? Because we only know that one song. Oh, she's me by the side, go. And then after that,
speaking about that, I think Calabash could have just become Lollapalooza. If we have a Lollapalooza in South Africa.
Look, I think so they've announced this year's Calabash Festival, right? And I think now they need to hone in, right? So we have a festival for the R&B girls and the indies and the rappers and the this and the that. We have the festival for the older, mature, jazzy R&B kind of group. Now we have Hey Neighbor, the festival for everybody. Now Calabash has announced Green Day as a headline. That's a game changer because Green Day is a big deal for a lot of people. Like they were very instrumental in like my grade 8, grade 7 year. Like I would listen to Green Day a lot. There's a gap for a rock festival with different rock bands. Big Concerts saw that. Like the Calabash turnout was predominantly white South Africans, but you would know that they listen to rock music. They're rock enthusiasts. The one area that Big Concerts has always been successful in, other than bringing their mainstream acts, is whenever they brought down a rock band or a heavy metal band, they sold the fuck out. Like my first concert ever in life was Kings of Leon. I went to Kings of Leon with my aunt. Like wildest.
My very first concert was Rihanna. Diamonds World Tour.
No ways.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had been doing laps around you by then. So to round up Calabash and big concerts, I think that they have a huge gap to fill in terms of the rock genre. Cool, you're bringing Green Day. Who else? Think of like Fall Out Boy. If they bring Fall Out Boy, are you kidding? Do you know what I'm saying? They need to play with the nostalgia because it's what's going to make this festival of theirs pop. Leave pop out of it.
I have something to say.
Sure.
I wanted to say about Afro Nation as well. I think like Afro Nation, they were supposed to have one in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
I think this right now is a perfect time for Live Nation or whoever's doing Afro Nation to curate an Afro Nation in South Africa. Because I think right now all eyes are on us. So of course people are going to be like there's so many people now who are like, oh my gosh, I want to go to South Africa for the summer. And I'm like, guys, we could literally just bring in more tourists with the music festival, but then they mustn't overstay their visa. And
which is what you're doing in Cape Town, but
yeah, that's what the property prices are crazy. You can't get an Airbnb for 2,000. Anyway, so I think it's a good opportunity for them to have an Afro Nation here.
Yeah.
All in all, I think Stain Entertainment.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a really good job at what they like, the curation. Glen 21 as well. I mean, for their first festival. I mean, you have to give them props.
And this is what I'm saying.
And also at the same time, it's their first festival.
Yeah.
They're learning from this, right?
Yeah. Look, it wasn't without fault. Like, we had a lot of technical issues.
The mic.
Here and there, the mic.
I didn't go. I was virtually helping him trying to find a place to go.
Like, there were a lot of technical issues that they had. But again, it was their first, just like our podcast.
Yeah.
That's our first episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was the first time these people were
How are you supposed to know or learn from your mistakes if you don't make them?
Absolutely. And again, the mistakes are very minuscule. I think the biggest one happened on Saturday, which unfortunately happened to be their biggest day. We had unexpected, like, heavy rains. It fucked up the technical. It fucked up the this. It was just a shamble. Half beyond their control. Half maybe could have been controlled by them.
But also at the same time, this is South Africa, right? Our weather is always so unpredictable.
So, because literally an hour after that, it was blistering hot. Not just our weather. The weather in Pretoria is different.
It's crazy.
It moves different there. But I was saying, if this was Glen 21's lineup for their first Hey Neighbor, I have a feeling they're gonna bring like Dua Lipa or like one of the pop girlies. Girl, I got goosebumps. If SZA, because SZA's touring SOS. SZA is touring SOS.
But then that's the thing, right? It's like SZA can come for either Rockin the Daisies or she can come for
guys,
Hey
I'm telling you now, like I have Good Days tattooed on my arm.
You know what?
I have
let's make a promise. We need to look at these people.
Okay.
And we're gonna make a promise that we hope this podcast gets to the level that we will get the opportunity to talk to all our favorite artists because of this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine me? Hi, Snoh. Welcome to the Rant room. She's gonna say, "Hey, Deshaun."
Can you imagine me and Solana? Me and Solana kicking it.
Listen.
But anyway. Okay, so I think with this exciting emergence and rise of the festival culture, there are rules and regulations of a festival.
Yeah, I think it's just etiquette.
Okay, I'm gonna let my girl rant in a bit, but
this is
number
the Rant
one,
room.
if you
Don't get me started.
If you do not like large groups of people,
don't go.
Or if you don't do well in large
groups
of people, stay at home.
Understandably, we're all there, right, to enjoy together. It's a sense of like community when you're at a festival, right? And you have to be. You can't be a stuck-up influencer in the crowd. Yeah. Like when everyone is trying to enjoy themselves. Yeah. You're gonna make the experience.
Well, you won't even find the influence in the crowd because they like to be bougie intense. I've seen that. But like, I was in the crowd, right? Me and another friend of mine who's an influencer, which leads you to point number 2, the sense of community thing. Yes, there are going to be thousands of Dushans who believe that they are the biggest Snoh Aalegra fans and that they are the biggest this.
Pause.
Which means
thousands.
Yes.
Not like me. I'm one in a million.
There's going to be a lot of people like him with that mindset. So when you were at the front of the like at the stage or whatever, you cannot push
or shout,
bully or shout or be angry at people because you are the biggest Snoh fan. everyone that's queued up there,
dude,
from the same time.
Let me tell you guys
there?
quickly one story. Just one story, real quick. Beyonce burst also.
Okay.
Beyonce came to South Africa in 2018 for Global Citizen Festival. I was crazy when I tell you I was crazy, I was cleaning up everywhere. I was trying to get them tickets. I was doing everything because I was like, I'm not going to pay for the tickets because I can get them for free.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got the tickets. My sister and I got... Yeah, I know. My sister and I got the tickets. I got the tickets and it was 2, so I was like, okay, I'm going to take my sister. Anyway, I was like, I'm going to get there early because I need to be right in front. When Beyonce comes back, she says, I'll take the clothes up. I was like, I need to be right in front. And when I tell you, I got there so early, babe. I got there so early.
I was at 5.
When I tell you, I got there so early. Anyway, long story short, like, I was getting tired because I was waiting. One girl comes in the, like, just before Beyonce can perform. Does she not just push, like, our entire friend group to get to the front? And she's like, yeah, guys. Well, I flew all the way from the US to see Beyonce. So
we both encountered the same girl.
And I was like, how? Like, I've been here from the morning, number one. And then when Beyonce came on, did she not do this to me? She said...
Was she there with her friend?
Yeah.
A biggish guy?
Yeah, I think so.
We encountered this... Okay, this girl and her friend follow Beyonce around the world, okay? So... Nokwanda and I got there at like 5 a.m. She and I also, we didn't sleep the whole night. Yeah. So we had purchased tickets from someone because we weren't winning with the thing, right? But rumor had gotten around that if you had gotten there early enough, they were upgrading your ticket. So Nokwanda and I, my friend and I were like, game, we'll get there as early as
I got there as early as possible. You think I got upgraded?
Please. Anyways, we get there, right? We're lining up, we're queuing up. It's cute, everyone's excited, mind you, it wasn't just Beyonce and Jay-Z that was performing at this festival.
It was Pharrell,
Oprah, Tyler Perry was there.
Everyone was there.
That's when Naomi gave us the iconic
Amandala.
So my friend and I are in this line, alright? So obviously, as a concert goer, especially if you go early to concerts, you tend to get to know the people that are around you. It just happens.
Yeah.
And so
I still follow the person.
We got to know this girl and her friend. They were saying they were from Atlanta. They follow Beyonce around. It's what they do. She recognizes them when she sees them and like gassing themselves up. We were like, cute. This is our first time seeing Beyonce. Well, because we're from South Africa, so they were fine. The moment we started getting closer and closer to get into the venue, the more unhinged this girl had become, right? When we finally got to the first tickets person to scan our tickets, she pushed my friend, right? But not like a oh, excuse me, it was a I'm gonna get into this turnstile before you. Now my friend is from Durban. She's from Seaview. Okay, she and I both went to Queensborough High. Google it. That's not a school. That's a prison for teens. This girl pushes. My friend turns around and says, "What you were not gonna do is push me." She said, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get We are all trying to get through. You might be from Atlanta. I also come from Soweto. You don't want to go head to head." This girl, like, shat bricks because she was starting to lose. I'm so sure Swarm was written about her. Like, she was starting to lose her medulla the closer we got inside the stadium. So I have no doubt that she did it to you. But anyways, back to etiquette, festival culture and etiquette and all of that. Like, don't have that mindset because you don't know how you are ruining someone else's most exciting moment of their life. Which then leads me to a story that my dearest friend, it haunts him till this day. It keeps him up at night.
It followed me to Stockholm.
It followed him.
No, it followed me to Stockholm.
It followed him to Stockholm. Go ahead, girl.
A while back, Nicki Minaj announced Pink Print Tour. And I was like, oh my God, this time won't you save me? I'm like, I was going to go. And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't afford the tickets at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to enter competition. I think at the time, 5FM was a title sponsor.
There was a title sponsor.
And I was like, oh my God, I have to get these tickets. And then I was tweeting and I was like, 5FM, you gotta give me those tickets. I have to get those tickets. And I thought, oh my God, they're gonna give me one ticket. Even if they give me one ticket, I'm happy because what am I gonna take? Well, long story short, they were like, oh my gosh, you have to wear something pink. The only pink thing I had was shorts. Did I not go put those shorts on and take a picture?
Do you have the picture?
No, I don't know where they are. I probably deleted it. Anyway, I put those shots on, and then I tweeted them. I was like, 5M, you gotta send me the tickets. They said, congrats. I was like, sad.
5M, won't you save me?
Literally. Then they gave me 5 tickets.
Damn.
They gave me 5 tickets to see Nicki Minaj. Up close and personal. Took my sisters and everything, and we went. And I was so excited that day because, I mean, I haven't seen Nicki Minaj, like, live.
Are you a Nicki fan?
Listen, I'm a Nicki fan, okay? Pull up in the Sri Lanka, what? So I was really excited to see Nicki Minaj. I even had a Nicki Minaj shirt made with like a boxing gloves that said Nicki Minaj. I was so excited to see her.
Yeah.
Anyway, get to this venue, waiting. Nicki comes out. Mind you, I completely agree with the clear bag thing now that they have at festivals. So anyway, I went to go see Nicki Minaj, and there was a girl with like a backpack, right? I don't know who she was because she thought she was a celeb. But anyway,
Speak your truth.
she had a backpack with those studs. You know, like the silver studs, right?
There was a time and an era you would know.
No. This bag, you know what? We're gonna actually create an Instagram post about things not to take to her.
Yeah, I was gonna say festival etiquette.
Yeah. And she had this bag full with these studs, and when I tell you, they were not blunt. They were sharp. And I would know firsthand because she was... So here's the barrier.
Okay, so if you guys can't see, like, Deshant was maybe like an arm's length away from this girl.
Yeah. Not even an arm's length. She was in front of me.
Okay.
But she was by the barrier.
Yeah.
Like her legs were on the barrier. So she was like... Her hands were over the barrier, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And her bag was like... And I was behind her.
Right.
Okay? Concert starts. Everyone's enjoying. Her bag is stabbing everyone. Not even me. There was a girl next to me who looked at me and she was like, I need to say something. So anyway, this girl's just like, she's on her phone. And this is what annoyed me also. Because she had seen Nicki Minaj the day before. And it was that whole drama that Nicki Minaj did the whole meet and greet, and then she wasn't booked for meet and greet, and then she came. She said, "Oh, you guys, whatever." And anyway, she took a picture with whoever, and yeah. Anyway, this bag was stabbing us, and when I tell you, I was so upset I couldn't enjoy this concert because every minute, like, it was jabs, jabs, and she was on her phone boosting posts, like she was posting stuff and boosting them. So she had seen Nicki Minaj the night before, but now she was just there to take more stuff to be like, oh, I've been at Nicki Minaj twice, like 2 nights in a row, and now I'm boosting posts. So everyone behind us were of course annoyed because like we're here, it's our first night, right? We couldn't afford to be here on both nights, so we're here to enjoy. She's jabbing, and then this other girl, she was like, excuse me, she ignored her. Then this girl eventually was like, pushed her.
Because that's the only thing you can do.
I was going to do something so bad. My girl turned around, she looked at us. She just did this, she was like... and she turned back. So anyway, she, like, the whole night, this was the whole concert.
I with
my whole chest, I was like, some people are here making us hate the concert because they're jabbing us in the back. Anyway... And I was like, okay, you know what? And at the time when she was boosting the post, I saw this girl's handle. So I'm like, yo, when I go home, I'm going to go and see what's so big about this girl because she made everyone hate
the experience, yeah.
Because I was really upset.
I'm sure.
And the thing is, like, I was supposed to remember this experience as, like, something enjoyable. Yeah. But that's the only thing I was, like, left with because I didn't enjoy it.
That sucks.
Anyway... Get home, Google her. I check her out, find out that she's related to someone, Anyway, just see that she's like, was a small time blogger, okay? And she like apparently had some YouTube thing going on and like whatever. She wasn't like out there, if you know what I mean. She was probably like me when I was in my blogspot days. But anyway, so ever since that time, I've always told everyone about the story. Introducing this friend. I tell him the story. Next thing I know, which I'll scare. Then I'm like, oh, okay, cute. Like, you guys.
And heavy on the mutuals.
Yeah, heavy on the mutuals.
Like, heavy on the mutuals. Like, I wouldn't use the word.
Yeah.
The F word.
Anyway, long story short, my trauma follows me every day.
Yeah, can I tell this part? Because I just think it was so funny. So, bear in mind, years have now passed.
That was 20, what? I don't even know, 2013. 18.
Years.
23. 5 years.
Years have passed.
I'm not even in South Africa.
And let me tell you, Deshant would bring it up in conversation at least once a day, right? Because I get it, right? If someone had ruined my Lady Gaga experience like that, I would have murdered whoever did that. I'm not even kidding. I bunked school to buy my Gaga tickets. Like, I would have murdered whoever did that to me. So you are stronger than I am. But was it last year? It was last year. Yeah, it was last year.
It was
last year. He video calls me. And it was some fucking odd hour in Sweden. And he was like, dude, she's here. I'm like, who's here? He's like, she's here. I'm like, okay, Dushan, take a deep breath. Who's here? Nicki. He says, Nicki Minaj girl is here. I burst.
No, because the thing is, like, she wasn't only just there.
He was like, if I go out to my front door, she's at that bus stop.
Because I was like, what are the odds that I'm living in Skåntorpsvägen and my trauma is standing outside waiting for the bus?
Because I think it's a sign from the universe that you need to heal.
Nah, dude, that was funny. It was crazy.
I think you need to heal from it. I think that's what it is. I think you need to move on from it. I think you need to forgive her. And I think you need to also put yourself in the mindset of, if you let your inner saboteur get the better of you, if you act on those thoughts, you would behave just like her at a concert. Be grateful that you have a conscience and you're not a vile monster. She just let the intrusive thoughts win. So anyways, I think that sort of like wraps up our little festival episode 2. I think I want to, before we end, who are your predictions for any of these festivals?
Oh, I think it's a little tough, right? Because I want to say that I think just starting off because of what Rockin the Daisies has done. I mean, just staying entertainment as a whole because of what they've done with In My City and Rockin the Daisies. I'm sussing out a little bit more R&B people coming through. I would dare say, I think I might say SZA might come. If not SZA, who else is touring at the moment? Janae Aiko, she's also touring at the moment.
I'd lose it.
Who else is touring? Like, Cleo Soul does not tour.
Yeah.
She does like 1 or 2.
She gives me more. She'd probably be on Cape Town Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
Daisies.
Who knows? They might bring Cleo. If not Cleo, I don't know who else. Yeah, I would say those two. I think for Hey Neighbor, I would say SZA. I would have been exciting if Tyler were to come back, but of course she's not touring. I would also say Nicki Minaj. The reason why I say Nicki Minaj is because she's been saying she's going to come to South Africa, and I don't think she'll come on a solo tour. I think she'll come as
again, because to be honest, like the Devon show, she didn't sell out.
And also again, just the venues, right? We don't have the Dome anymore. She performed at the Dome. So I think she might come.
I also, and this is an unassuming one, but I also feel like Megan Thee Stallion could come.
She's touring. That's smart. So I think it's about artists who are touring now, because you rarely get an artist who's going to step out of the touring to come.
SZA's touring, Drake's touring. Meg might be touring the new album,
is.
right? I feel like Megan might be a hot contender.
Beyonce.
Please. I mean, we could be surprised.
Jolene.
For Rockin the Daisies, I don't know. I really don't know.
I think it's because of who they started off with.
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
I really don't
But that's
know.
why I say Rockin the Daisies, I could see like a Mahalia, Georgia Smith. Like,
and I think when it comes to Hey Neighbor, we can sort of put together a dream wish list because it doesn't sound impossible. Like the fact that they brought Kendrick Lamar and Swedish House Mafia is crazy. So it's not bizarre. Anyway, that's that. But thank you.
Yeah. And ending that on, speaking about festivals, anybody there by staying, if you guys maybe want to just,
if you want us to record an episode of the Rant Room live,
please,
Spotify.
Yeah.
We know you're listening, Spotify.
Yeah.
You told us.
You listening?
Told us that Spotify told us.
No, Spotify did tell us they listened.
They did.
And Spotify,
guys.
I know you're gonna have a tent at Rockin the Daisies.
Guys, here's the Spotify screenshot. Okay, thought.
Oh.
Okay, so I had thought last week. So you get thought this week. I get thought. Do you go first?
I was gonna say my thought is people who go to concerts and push. That could be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, another thing is people who act like they support you but they really don't. Anyway.
My thought of the day. I'm currently reading a book by
Which one?
Oprah. I'm reading a lot of books. Oprah and Arthur C. Brooks. He is known as the happiness doctor and the happiness lecturer. And they talk about happiness is not a destination. It's a direction. But they say one of the three out of the many things to feel happiness or contentment. It is satisfaction, it is enjoyment, it is satisfaction, and it is purpose, right? So if I had to put it into a work regard, or if you want to apply this to your life, enjoy what you do. Once you're done doing the thing you're doing, be satisfied with it, and make sure it serves a purpose. Like, I enjoy making this podcast. We're satisfied with how it sounds at the end of the day. And I know that somewhere someone is listening right up until the very end and, you know, made their day just slightly more better because it's entertained.
Love that.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I think the first 2 episodes have really showed a little bit about what our thought process is. Yeah, and it's been a lot of music focused. I think we need a
like I said, movies have been taking a bit of a backseat right now.
Yeah.
Last year was the year for movies.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of the episode 2 of the
please
Rant.
don't forget to follow the Rantgram.
Yes, and we're actually on TikTok.
We're on TikTok.
We bit the bullet and we were like,
Yeah, we were scared about TikTok, but we're on TikTok, and our TikTok is doing well.
Yeah, and it's called the Rant Room SA. You can follow us on TikTok. You can also follow us on Instagram.
@PrevReady.
Yeah, @Nadude. Oh, by the way, I want to quickly plug this. On Spotify, when you're listening, if you scroll a little bit down, if you go down, you see there's a poll?
going.
There's a poll?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can vote on that poll. We usually put questions there. We want to know your thoughts.
Oh wait, one more shameless plug. By the time this episode drops, I would have announced that I am...
Dun, 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 dun.
By the time this episode will drop, I would have announced that I am playing the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
I'm in London. I like to go and shop at the mall, shop at the Prada, shop at the
I'm doing 4 shows.
Scotland.
Yeah, I'm going to Scotland. I'm doing 4 shows at the Edinburgh Fringe Fest. This is my first big international festival that I'm playing. I'm very excited, bitch. I'm be there.
Yeah, I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, anybody out there want to sponsor my ticket, y'all?
Yeah.
Well,
Bye.
Well, yeehaw, y'all.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.